This is Rachel coming at you with another spirit art drawing. I wanted to let you know that this coming weekend I'll be giving more spirit art readings at Serenity Rock / Halos Holistic Center, and the address is 1309 West Guadalupe Road in Mesa. I'll be giving the readings between 10:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. If you're interested in getting a reading, feel free to contact me or Serenity Rocks. Let's get started on this next spirit art drawing. When I very first saw her, I actually didn't know if she was a man or a woman because I saw her in gray and I saw her crouched or sitting on the ground with her one hand over her head, like very distraught. So the first thing I saw was she was curled up in the ground, very similar to what this position is. She's kind of cross-legged, kind of sitting. It doesn't really matter if her legs are crossed or not. And I couldn't quite tell if she had pants or a dress on at first, but then I decided that since I kept getting all these different types of clothing that she could have been wearing, I settled for the dress, and that seemed to be fine because it did turn out very important that I did catch the female aspect of this particular spirit, and so I'll explain why. This is a mother in mourning, and she's very upset. I don't really think she's that old, considering that her hair is very thick and black, and it's kind of like over her shoulder, but some of it's in her face. I do consider her crying, and there are little puddles of water. Hopefully you can see them down here, but there's a storm here, like a rainstorm, and then there's little puddles of water. So I would say that those could even be her tears because she's been crying so much. I kept asking her, or actually the spirit really, before I knew it was even a woman, come closer, come closer. That's the thing I do to try to like blend more, to get more of an understanding of the spirit and what they're trying to say. And as I told her to come closer and come closer, I definitely got the fact something happened to her child. I want to first frame this in a way that you understand why I'm getting this information, because a lot of times mediums get information, but it's based on their own set of experiences, or you could also call it like a data bank. So they're getting information based on what they've already been through. Similar to this woman, I also have a child, and so she was kind of going off of that because I am, without getting too much into the situation personally, I'm having issues with my daughter. She's a teenager, and so these sort of issues are totally normal, except that there is a spiritual component that is not normal. This woman understands that, and she had a child with a similar situation. So I'll just be very vague. I don't really know if she probably doesn't want me to be vague, but I want to be vague. This still could be a reading for somebody else. It doesn't necessarily have to be for me, because this particular message could affect a lot of people. But basically, even as a mother, you can't control everything. I can love my daughter, I can do the best I can, but at the end of the day, I cannot control her decision. This mother went through the same thing. She loved her children very much, or this particular child, she loved them very much, as strongly as any mother could love their child. And at the end of the day, she lost her child. The son was very headstrong, and he decided that he was going to go out and venture out despite the warnings of this very strong thunderstorm. You can see the lightning. There's a storm right here. The son never came back. Wolves got him. Basically, the idea is that the Mother Earth took her son away from her. God, or the creator, or whoever, gives you something so beautiful like a child. That child is a gift from God, no matter how you see them, no matter what your experiences are with a child. The child is still a gift. If the great decider decides to take the child away from you, the child will be taken away. And it has nothing to do with your decision as a mother or how well you can protect your own child, because some things are not up to the mother. And that is what she was trying to say, is that she is in eternal mourning, so to speak, about her son. It was through no fault of her own. She did everything she could, and she just adored her child, and they made a bad decision that they were going to go out into the rainstorm, and then she never saw her son again. She did call nature Earth Mother. Earth Mother gives you everything that you have, you know. She gives you the sun, she gives you the Earth Mother or the Great Decider, however you decide to see God, it can also take away the greatest gifts that you have. So once I connected really intensely, I started crying a little bit. I do think that she has crossed over. She's not like a mother who is so upset where she's still on this side. You know, I did wonder if she was related to some of the Pueblo people of the Southwest, because I did get some visions of some of the Pueblo dwellings that, like in the museums and the reconstructions, where the rooms are still there. And so sometimes the spirits huddle in the corners of some of these rooms because they don't want to be disturbed, and, you know, nor should they be. They're just there in their dwellings. And the dwellings are sacred. Any place where a human resided was sacred. She goes back through some of these places where she lived, because sometimes they sit in the corner of the Pueblo buildings, kind of like huddled like this, you know. She came to me because I am going through a situation with my daughter right now where I cannot control the decisions that my daughter is trying to make, and I know that, but I have to let go of the outcome at times, and it's very difficult. If you're a mom out there and you have a similar situation, or else maybe you know this woman, maybe you know her, maybe you recognize her, maybe you recognize this pottery. It has a lot to do with nature. Like, this is nature, and the nature took her son away. The message is, be grateful for your experiences, even for your children, and every single moment that you have with your children, because you're not the great decider. I'm not the great decider. She was not the great decider. I hope that you liked this particular drawing, and then I'll be back with another one before you know it. Bye-bye.